Okay, so real quickly, this is kind of the end of the video series. There's 3 videos in this little series, and this is the end of it. I'm coming on now basically to tell you that I've had to split this series into smaller portions so that they're about 20 minutes long, because this particular video that you're seeing the end of here is a little over an hour long. So what we'll do is I'll split those off into 20-minute sections, and you will end up here. But I just wanted you to know, so the video will abruptly end. It will say the end, and view the next one. And I thank you for watching, and we will catch you when this is over. I'll try to make the new ones much shorter. Thank you. So for now, let's just call this good, and let's work on developing our page. So the first thing that we're going to want to do right off the bat is let's expand what we've got here. So let's go into manage our layouts, and you can see all of these are actually they are layouts. They're actually tables. These are all tables that were created being modified in a different window. Okay, whatever, I don't really care. I'm just going to go ahead and unclick them because we don't really need to see them. It's not that big a deal. We're going to create a new folder, and we're going to call this folder tables. And we're going to say okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to I'm just right click, grab it on the little arrows, right click, grab it, move it over. And what we're doing is we're adding those inside of this table field. We're just going to drag this one down, put it right there, call it good. And then of course we have a little warning that just told us you're on that page, so don't mess it up too much. And we're going to close that out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new folder, and we're going to call this one user underscore layouts. And these are for any of the layouts that we are going to have a regular user using. And then we're going to create another folder, and we're going to call this admin underscore layouts. You don't have to add that term, but I like to keep everything in like a one word or a continuous flow. It just works out better that way. This is kind of odd that it automatically put that there. And obviously there's nothing in either one of these. So we're good to go with that. We're starting to figure that out. We're going to create a brand new layout, and we're going to call this one the launch page, and we're going to make it for a computer, and we're going to make it a form view, and we're going to finish it. Now, ta-da, here it is. It just pops up. It's kind of funny. You can't even really tell except for the fact that you have to go back and redo this. If you grab it from this line, what happens is you just extenuate that line. It just makes it much longer, your footer. And realistically, personally, I don't even like footers. I don't think footers need to be a big part of the system. But there it is. And one thing I will tell you right off the bat, let's do this like immediately. When you get your first page set up and you know what you want it to be, in this particular case, I'm going to use electric because I really like the electric layout. I think it is as cool as it gets. And so here with the footer, I'm going to go ahead and put it on there like that. One thing that you're going to want to do right off the bat is you're going to want to select the footer, and you're going to want to get to this I deal and get to the position, and then switch these to points. And see how it says it's 33? Make it 35. And call it good. Now, write that down because you're going to want all of your footers to basically be the same. The header, we're going to change the header from 50 to 140. Click off of it. It's automatic. It makes it happen. Now, notice what it did is it changed everything. Kind of a pain in the butt. We can grab this from here, slide it up to here, maybe. Let's get it right. The cool thing is once you get these done, you're good to go. So here, height is 35. Look how good we are. And this is obviously in our way, but no big deal. So what we're going to do from here is let's start making this into your store. So your store, and let's do a developed by semicolon and then your name. So from here what we're going to do is we're going to click on these little double A's, and that's going to bring us what we want it to do. I have really been playing around with this 18th century. I like it. It's kind of it's a really cool font. I'm going to run a 72. It's kind of very reminiscent of an old school type thing. And then developed your name, and we're also going to make that into the 18th century, and we're going to increase it to a 24, and we'll put it here. And now you want to identify this is the page that people could see. This is obviously the page that your cashiers are going to see. So you really want to make these as cool as you can, so that they're exciting, they're different. This particular page, I like to put on it an integrated point of sale / inventory system. And this one, if you click off of it, then it will get this little blue ringed around thing, and that's what you want. If you're actually in the system, it won't let you change it. So like when you very first do it and it had that little dotted line around it, it won't let you change it from there. So here we're just going to go ahead and change it to 18th century, and we will make it 14. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be something that you know or that you recognize. There we go. And I just love the way that the system will automatically snap you into place whatever you do. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. It's a little bit too big for me. I mean, I'm vain, but I'm not that vain. So developed by your name. This is your store. If you have a logo or you have something that you would like to put into the system, all you have to do is grab yourself a box, touch the little eye, go to the appearance, and then it says here on the graphics section, fill. Select image, select your image, it will put it in there, and you can select whether you want it to fit, whether you want it to fill, or whether you want it to slice it or tile it, anything that you want. It's not necessary. We will change this. Obviously, I will change this. It just happened to be one of the only pieces of artwork that I had. Let me see if I can. None. Now go image. See if it lets me. There, it's going to pick up. Let me do it. Saved pictures. Let's see if I have any saved pictures. Actually, I do. Look at all these really cool pictures that I actually have. So let's do the clean air, the transparent background. Yeah, haha. Okay, so let's do a transparent background on it. And scale to fit. Notice how it's changing as I'm changing it. So as I move this, it's just going to move right along, and if I make it bigger, then it's obviously going to fill the position that it is in. So I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to put my logo right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple of buttons. Now, unfortunately, I think I explained this before, but one of the interesting things is you've kind of got to work your way backwards. So I can come up here and I can select all of these things. And the one thing here is a button. So I'm going to make a large button. And when I let go of it, it's going to automatically ask me, what exactly is it that you want to name the button? So I'm going to name this one Register 1. And right now we're just going to be do nothing because we don't have anything else set up. So if I click on this and it creates this line, one of the neat things I can do is I can see how I can rotate that. I'm right click and hold on to the little dot, right? So I can change what that actually looks like. I kind of like it the way that it was, so I'm just going to leave it there. But if I click on it, and it has these lines around it, I can go up here and I can change it to a 24, or I can change it to a 36, and I can change the font to this 18th century style of font. Now, if I select again and I press and hold the control button, then I grab a hold of it by right click or left click and hold on to it and just drag it. Now I've created two of them, and if I double click it, I can change it from Register 1 to Register 2. And in this case, it's okay to copy these things. So let's say I want this to be dead in the center. Now if you noticed when I first got on here, I went ahead and I just dragged it out to this orange line. Now the orange line was set up, and it is set at a custom size. So just do that right now. Just go into custom size and create the size 1275 by 750. This will work really bad, or really well, really bad. This will work really great, actually, if you are using the iPad Air 2 or whatever it is. It will fit the right size as to what you are looking for. But anyway, so if you left click and you drag a circle around these two, you're now able to move the both of them. And if you notice, when you get to the dead center, how I had that blue line cross in there. So that blue line basically set the stage for this is dead center. Now I can take these and I can increase them, I can decrease them, I can pretty much do anything with them that I want. I like to leave them right there. Now another thing that I want to do is I want to create a row of smaller buttons. So this one I will call it admin, and I will say do nothing, and I will hold the control button. What I did was I clicked on it, then I push and hold the control button, and now I'm going to grab it with the left mouse button and hold the left mouse button, and I'm going to drag it. And notice the line, how it had that blue line going through the center. That means they're exactly centered with each other on the horizontal plane. So if I double click this one, I can change the name. All I got to do is highlight it and change the name, and I can do this one as back office, and I can create it with 2 words, and I can change this. I can select both of them if I want to. Go in here, do 18th century, and then I can do a 24 font, and there it is, instantaneous. So, and then I can take both of them if I wanted to, and I can hold the control button, and I can left click, and I can drag them over. And let's say we're gonna, oh look, we accidentally screwed up what we were doing, and this one we're going to call this time clock, which I will show you how to do that. And what that does is it would punch an employee in. If you have an employee, you can make that into a drop-down list or a different section of button, and then they can just press on it, and that would give them what they need. And this one, we can create this one as inventory. Oop. See what I did? I didn't. See how it had the white buttons around it? And then I started typing, and it just typed it right into there. Well, we don't want to do that. So good that I made the mistake. So now I'll click on it, click away, and we're going to call this one Oh, I did it again. Why is it doing that? Click off, click on. Well, I'll be danged. Oh, I know why it's doing that. That's funny. I have to double click it in order to change that. Click off, double click it really fast, and then get this box. My brain cell is half fried today, so this one, inventory. So you guys, the cool part about me messing up on certain things is you guys get the opportunity to see that, and then you can say, well, Tim made that mistake, and so you know what happens when those mistakes are made. So if we go back in and we bring up our inspector from this point, we can change the color of these buttons should we want to. And one thing that we can do is we can reverse it where it's very well lit underneath the bottom. I kind of like that. And we can change the medium color should we want to, and the upper color. We could also reverse that if we wanted to, just by changing those colors or make whatever that we want to. But the biggest part is, let's go into the position. And so what we're going to want to do is we're going to look at these, and it says align on horizontal centers. Instantaneous. It just lines them right up. And then there is this button right here underneath the spacing button, and it's going to distribute them evenly in a horizontal fashion. So it certainly is a very nice feature that you can actually do that. Here I can elongate these a little bit if I want to, can put them dead in the center. And now I've pretty much, and I can exit out of this because you can bring it back at any time. So what this does for me is this is actually a launching page. It's a launch page. And what it does here is you have 2 registers, and you would push this button and you would go into the first register, which is, as you saw in our things, we actually had register and then register 1 or register 2. So these are the separations for those because they would be taking them from different locations. Of course, you can, if you just had a single inventory, you could take them from well, you're going to take them from a single inventory, but as we get farther, obviously I'll explain it. I'm trying to get as far ahead, I think, as absolutely possible. So this is how you create a button, and what you would do is click on it twice, and then you would change this to performing a script, and I will show you how to do that momentarily. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to manage my layouts. And this is one of the few times I'm going to say this is okay. So when we're dealing with menu pages and launch pages, it is okay to press this duplicate button and duplicate it. And now I have a copy of it, and here it shows me I'm still on the same page, but what I can do is close out of this, go into here, And now I have the launch page copy, and I can go to it. And the cool thing is here it says launch page copy is the exact same page. And the reason why I did that is because I want to maintain the integrity of this header. I don't want to have to recreate the header. And because this page is not creating any files, it works out beautifully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete those, and what I did was I highlighted them and I pressed the delete button. I believe that you could possibly also go in and just use the cut thing for them as well. So what I'm going to do with these is I am going to select them, and I'm going to make them a little bit smaller. And I am going to control, drag them along. And notice the little brackets that showed up here. And the brackets that show up there is telling me, okay, we've just duplicated that, that distance between here and here has been duplicated. So now I'm gonna grab these first two again, and I'm gonna press and hold the control button. I'm going to left click and drag them away. But as you can see, they don't want to fit. So put them over here. Grab these two. And you don't have to completely circle them. And see the little blue brackets that I was talking about? That just tells me that the distances are the same between them. So now what I can do is I can take all 6 of these boxes and I can shrink them a little bit. I can be like, whoa, okay, now I want them to fit. And I'm going to center them. So by going back and forth, I am centering them. Now, these are actually going to be category buttons, and this name is going to be wrong because what I need to do is I need to have this as a menu page for register 1. So I'm going to manage layouts. I'm on this layout, so I can click it and I can edit it. When I edit it, it's going to ask me, what do you want to do with this page? Well, I want to change the name. So I'm going to change it to menu, and then I'm going to select 1. I'm going to say menu 1. Now, if this was going to be a category menu, then I would have this category menu 1. But for all practical purposes and what we're actually building here, we're going to limit the amount of products that we're selling to a single page. And obviously I want to show records from the menu.